Panthers threatening it.
And Guertin with the lead.
Titans point.
No. Hey, what a great crossing pattern. I tell you, finding himself all alone up the seam was Ryan Conley.
Shot and a goal. And the Titans are on the board.
Reckler. Oh, I tell you, she's a beast.
Up and running, and look at that.
Bang.
He's in there.
Shot score! You can see it all setting up. You sure could.
North sets it up, and a killer winner.
And here comes the Donna all lined up. It's nothing but goal there, right there.
Oh, my goodness.
You'll watch it back on Nashua ETV.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stellos Stadium in Nashua. Sun-drenched on a Friday afternoon in early May. Sparkling new green turf and the same old Tom
That's
King.
right. That's exactly. Yeah. Did you practice that?
Yes,
a little
I
bit?
did.
Yeah,
I wrote it down.
I figured.
Couldn't wait to say that.
Yep, same
But
old
you've
Tom.
been down on the turf. It looks fantastic.
I've been there a couple of times. It's great. It's nice to walk on. In fact, I'll be walking on it in the second quarter.
Yep.
Leaving you alone for a quarter, but so I can take photos. But that's, they did a great job. There's more to do, I think, probably, and a few, cosmetic things. But other than that, the place looks great. A little different, John. We don't have the burning bushes across the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Or around the back.
Oh,
and
it
everything
took them
else.
all away, huh?
They took it all away. Now they have the gate, swinging gate, or not a swinging gate, it's a sliding gate, similar to what they have at Riviera. I think
Right.
you've been there, you've seen that.
I have.
And
yep.
they've got the yellow top on the gate so that the players can see it, so they
Yep.
don't run into it.
More gates in the Gate City.
Yeah, but that way, what it also does is keeps a lot of the balls in the stadium. So soccer balls will get over it. That's always going to happen. But the lacrosse balls probably will stay more in than they have in the past. So that's a good thing. But the turf is great to walk on. I think the players liked it. I talked to the South girls. First game that was played here was South against Salem way back about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. So,
Yep.
or about a week, somewhere around there. I lose track, John.
Yeah.
This is the third week of the spring regular season. So teams still haven't gotten into their grooves yet, right? So that's going to be the thing. Now, Bishop Guertin, I saw them in their opener. They played that at Presentation of Mary while Stellos had a couple more days to be worked on. And the one play you want to look at, John, is Abby Lynn for Guertin. She is their leading scorer. She's the player who can do a lot for them.
Abby Lynn, number 3.
Yep. So you'll be calling her
For
name, I
BG.
would imagine,
Yep.
today. And for Bedford, it's a Bedford team. It's in the mix. May not be the tourney favorite right now, but they certainly could be if they, the way they play in the second half of the year. There's a lot of lacrosse left to be played in a short amount of time, because you're going to have the season this year. We'll have another week of regular season play after Memorial Day. Everything was late because Thanksgiving was the latest it's been. They always managed, to rotate around that.
Okay.
So they had a long preseason. They had 3 weeks, almost 4, 3.5 weeks of preseason. So about 3. So they had a lot of time to prepare. The problem is, it's now you got to cram everything in. After school vacation ends, and school vacation ends, this weekend. So then they go in through the month of May, and there'll be 4 weeks of regular season play before tournament time. Bishop Guertin made it to the finals last year and lost to Portsmouth.
Runner-up to Portsmouth, who's
The
picking up where they
championship
left
game.
off
Yeah,
last
that's
year.
a
They're
great-
8-0.
Great program at Portsmouth, and You know, Bedford won it the year before, so.
And BG, of course, had their big run there where they won 4 out of 5 years, including the year that there was no championship, right, in 2020?
No, there was in 2020. There were no.
So they won in 2018, 2019, 21, and 22.
21 and 22,
Yep.
And then so that's 4
Bedford
years.
and Portsmouth, and now here we are in 2025.
What you're looking at now is the measurements of the stick to make sure that the baskets are secure. They measure everything. So don't forget, today we are say hello to our friends at BCTV.
Welcome our Bedford viewers. We're
Yes.
Andrew Fenn from BCTV back at the studio. We'll be handling our replays,
love
Tom.
Andrew. Andrew's the best.
Yeah. Dan's up there too, but Andrew's going to do a great job for us on replays today. A Friday afternoon game starting at 3 o'clock here on May 2nd of 2025. John Collins with Tom King. These two teams about the same in the standings early on here. The BG 5-1, Bedford 4-2. They could both be 5-2 after this if Bedford can squeak out a win, but we'll see what happens. As we said, Portsmouth at the top of the standings. Nashua South off to a great season start.
This
Tom.
is a good team, and we will see
6-1.
We will see them this week against
Great.
Nashua North at the Battle of the Bridge. We've got doubleheader on Wednesday, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Boys at 4, girls at 6.
Great time for North to get their first win.
And in my mind, they're saving the best for last because the South girls lacrosse are the best of the 4 national teams.
Okay.
And North has improved of the girls. They've improved greatly in my mind. They're not getting blown out every game. They're competing. So that should be an interesting game.
They just have played tough teams.
Yeah,
then.
right. I saw South today. South got beat by Merrimack 8-0. They didn't look that great doing it. I think they were missing some kids because of the vacation. So I think that's, the Battle of the Bridge, and it's also going to be the Munson Cup. The Munson Cup will be awarded in memory of the late Bill Munson, the former South coach. So it's going to be a busy week, and don't forget the Hall of Fame will be on May 18th, but on May 16th we'll be at Holman Stadium for the North-South baseball game. And I think a few days before that we'll be at Riviere for the North-South softball game, and we'll be at Riv tomorrow.
Yeah,
more lacrosse,
big
the
mention
biggest
there,
game in the history of Riviere men's lacrosse will be tomorrow, 1 p.m.
Biggest game in their history.
Biggest game in their history. They've never been to a GNAC championship before.
And they're hosting it.
And they're hosting it.
And you're expecting a big crowd, right?
I would think that there's going to be a big crowd as long as they watch the weather forecast and the weather forecast is going to be, I think it's going to be like this for the first part of the day. So I think we're going to enjoy some decent weather for that game.
Yeah, that's a 1 o'clock start.
1 o'clock start, plan on 2 hours for that one.
Merrill Field.
Yep, at Merrill Field. There'll be the softball tournament going on above just a little bit above it.
Right.
It's going to be a busy
at
day.
the top of Nashua.
Yes,
Two big contests.
Reserve your parking space now, John Collins. You may
just walk.
You may have to walk a bit to get to from where you park.
I'm willing to do that.
Yep.
I got some connections over there, so.
He
told me actually he couldn't help me.
I just told you. I was just going to say that. I told you he's not going to help.
He said, I think he's going to give Nashua ETV a spot, though. That's how that works. Yeah.
Yep.
But we'll have to walk.
Us losers are stuck.
You got to hike. It goes right uphill there. But we're looking forward to that one in a big way, as we are this one. Bedford in the black jerseys and shorts to our left of your screen, and of course BG in their home whites. As we just had the stick checks they have to do before every game, right, Tom?
Yeah. Did you get your stick checked?
No, I didn't.
No?
I didn't get my pens checked. Nothing. So hopefully they'll be legal for the rest of the game.
Hopefully I'll be able to walk on the field. They won't tell me to get off because I didn't have anything checked. So.
Yeah, it is a very, very busy time of year for sports fans and sports writers like Tom. There's so many sports to cover. You got pros, you got college, you got high school, and all the spring sports. And that's why you're tired.
That's why I'm tired. I mean, last week was a lot with the NFL draft, but that was big. But I don't cover the Celtics. So we use the wire service for that.
Okay, yeah.
I used to cover the Bruins.
You don't have to worry about the Bruins right now.
I don't have to worry about the Bruins. So, another thing that's going on that's local but not happening here, it's happening down in Fenway, is the return of Mickey Gasper, the former Silver Knight and Merrimack High School player who is with the Minnesota Twins.
That's a fantastic story between Gasper and
traded by the Red Sox on Christmas Eve.
And he got to start opening day, I think, at second base.
Yeah, I believe he did.
Yeah, is he still starting? Do we know?
No, he hasn't played a whole lot.
Okay.
So.
Ben Rice, huge story from the FCBL.
Yeah, we saw him in 2020.
Yeah,
exactly.
he continues to rake at the major league level. I think he's like ranking up in the top 5 in exit velocity.
For the Yankees, yep.
Yeah, so.
I hate that. Tell me.
Exit velocity?
Tell me. If
barrels?
You can hit 300. Hit 300, people.
What's Aaron Judge hitting?
400.
He's amazing this year. I mean, he's a contact hitter that's 6'7" and 280.
How about that, huh? Abby Lynn, number 3, will take the draw. There she is.
Against number 3 for Bedford, who is Madeline Keeley, and I do remember Madeline from last year.
And I don't see the one player that they are missing that's been out for most of the season. That would be a sophomore who's really heralded, and that's Lola Dumont, number 1.
So,
all right, let's get going here.
We'll face it off at midfield here at Stellos. The goal posts are the nets are at the goal lines on either side, so you have the 100.
The whole key in this sport is winning the draw.
Oh, it's huge.
Possession 10/10 of the law.
Way more than in, say, ice hockey or similar sports.
Yep. By the way, congratulations to all the Telegraph All-Stars in the last 10 days. Those have appeared online at nationaltelegraph.com. There's plenty of them, so check it out.
Simulcasting on BCTV and Nashua ETV as well.
Sorry, Bedford, I don't cover you, so nobody is on the Telegraph All-Star teams in Bedford. But you guys have got a
lot of All-Stars over there, for sure.
It's always a great rivalry with Bedford in any sport. BG and Bedford. I saw Bedford last night against Guertin and boys lacrosse. Today, the girls version.
BG controls the opening face-off, and they go right behind the net with it. Bedford trying to ward off the first shot of the game. That's a goal. One shot and one goal, and I believe that is your aforementioned number 3,
Abby
Tom,
Lynn.
Abby Lynn, that gets BG on the scoreboard.
Yep. Don't forget, this is a little different. This is our first lacrosse of the year. It's a lot different than the boys' version.
Right. Abigail Lynn scores just over a half minute into the 12-minute quarter. 11:27 remaining, and Abby Lynn goes right over the top of the goaltender, the netminder for Bedford, who really had no chance. It was a slam dunk goal. Both of these teams can light it up on the scoreboard, Tom. As you know, they've put up 15 goals a game routinely against most of their opponents. So we're expecting a kind of high-scoring affair here, too. We'll see if the defense kind of has anything to say about that.
Keep an eye on Leah LeBlanc, Izzy Rogers, 2 senior attackmen for Bedford, Emma Ciruso at midfield. Madeline Kiley at midfield. It's not a big senior class in lacrosse for Bedford, and neither for BG. Well, it is a little bit more for BG. I think they've got, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. I think 9 or 10 seniors on their team.
And interestingly, Tom, all 3 of BG's netminders are seniors. So
Maddie Linnell, how we've seen her for the last 3 years, John. She's a 4-year player.
She is the number 1.
Yep.
And so it's a junior in net for Bedford, Irene Tsai, TSAI.
Bedford with the draw control, so now they have possession.
Yep. They're looking to equalize here early on. We're just over 1 minute played in the opening quarter. 1-0 BG leads it. I don't know if the sun is any factor at all. Maybe for the goaltender looking this way, Tom, a little bit.
I've got to get out there and see.
Yeah.
I don't think at this time it is. It would be in a couple of hours.
Right.
A lot of defensive pressure by BG. It's going to be a free possession for Bedford.
Maybe a little bit of a glare, nothing much to...
Well, you see the glare off the goalie's off Edna Linnell's helmet.
Yeah, coming from the opposite side of the field. Oh, a double body check. You're not really allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. Abby Lynn took the heavy hit there. It was kind of payback. I think a little bit of a frustration on the part.
Let me tell you this. That hit, when she went down on the old turf, she'd be there for a while.
A little bit of more cushion, you're saying?
A lot more cushion.
Yeah. The ball handler for Bedford that got it taken away by a sandwich was Makita Barry, and she handed out the hit to Abby Lynn, who went down. Now it's BG trying to double up to add. Oh, Abby took one right off the face,
so
it
there'll
looked
be a
like.
free possession there. So.
Yeah.
Look, this is going to be a physical game between the two teams.
You can't just let Abby Lynn do whatever she wants, and that foul was against Carly Hodgson-Rogers, the junior midfielder, number 1, that got a piece of her. Oh, wait a minute. It goes back the other way.
The other way. I don't understand that call.
I don't know either, because it looked like that the BG player took one off the face, but that wasn't the call on the field. And now we have a violation by Bedford. So BG back on the attack and slipping and falling, whistle dead. Kind of a push in the back, apparently. And so getting to restart will be Elena
but you
Marciano.
see how valuable the possessions are, John Collins. Bedford playing tight defense and Bishop Guertin trying to do the same thing.
That's it. They are.
And the thing is, what Bedford wants to do, John, is stop the transition game that Guertin runs so well. And, you know, they want to make it as difficult as they can for BG to make it run up the field.
Sprinting through everybody is Sarah Brunel before she dishes it, and round behind the net it goes.
This is the one sport where you really need to be in tip-top shape.
Oh, yes. Mariella Tomasello passes to Bella Dawson. It makes its way up to Charlotte Acamando, and all the way back to the other side. Jordan Gable is number 6 behind the net. Perimeter passing here by BG as they control this possession. There's no shot clock, right, Tom?
No shot clock in New Hampshire girls lacrosse.
So no need to rush it.
We will deal with a shot clock tomorrow when we do the Riv LaSalle championship game.
Abby Lynn going to work. Shoot, scores! There was a whistle right at the time. She let it go, though. And I think that's going to negate it.
That's going to negate the goal.
Wow. What happened there? She must have took a stick check.
Let's see what she can do here. She's got a little room.
She does it again. Automatic Abby. And it is a 2-0 lead. Abby Lynn's got both. She actually scored 3 there, 2 there, but one was negated by. You don't get a continuation. That's interesting. Getting fouled in the act of shooting a goal negates the goal.
There's no free throws, John.
Yeah, but I mean, you're in the act of actually. It's like a quarterback getting hit as he throws a touchdown pass. You don't take the touchdown pass off the board because it's roughing the passer, do you? Interesting.
Different sport, different rules. And most of the rules in lacrosse are based on safety.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Abby Lynn to take the draw again against Madeline Keeley. BG's got the best of these early on. Abby bidding to be the player of the year, if not just the most valuable player for BG thus far. It's a lengthy preset here.
Yeah, they got to make sure everything's set, get them all together and everything else. And
loose ball.
Loses that draw.
Yeah, Bedford does a good job scooping up the ground ball.
Bedford, the draw controls are big, and Bedford's got a 2-1 lead in those.
Madeline Keeley angling in, does the spin move, dishes.
Oh, wide open at the top.
That was an opportunity to shoot.
Yep.
Passed it up, and with it is Carly Hodgson-Rogers. She goes on the far left wing. Tight defense by BG. A little bit too aggressive, gets whistled for a foul. And on the restart, Bedford's going to get the ball knocked loose, and it's scooped up. What do we have?
Contact. Free position.
Yeah, best chance for Bedford to score their first goal, trailing 2-0, and we've already played 5 minutes of the first quarter.
It's basically man-on-man, goalie against shooter when it comes down to this. Sometimes the defense can close in time, sometimes it can't. Depends on how quick the shooter is.
Madeline Eder and Linnell spinning that goalie stick, hoping to snag one here in close quarters on the restart. You'll hear the whistle, and then, the player jumped it, and they're going to call a violation. Offside.
Oh, man.
On the shooter. Oh, opportunity missed there for Bedford on a literal misstep before the whistle instructed her it was good to go.
And here you see the transition. BG getting it down quickly. Bedford's got to set up.
Mariella Tomasello And around the perimeter it goes to Madison Mandel, a number 11, manning her spot behind the net. You can see her just on the far side of the goalie. Around the H in Nashua, she's got it now. As Mandel dishes to Sarah Brunel. Passing it up quickly was Abby Lynn. You almost expect her to attack every time she gets it. She's got it here. Gauging an opening. Charlotte Accomando off a pick, shoots and misses wide left. But BG retains possession.
Right. Closest player to where it goes out.
Right back on the attack come the Cardinals, looking to go up 3-0 here. Abby Lynn, one shot away from a hat trick already. She's got it. Top of the key, so to speak. Looking right, fakes right, goes
shoot.
left, and it was saved. The save of the game thus far by Irene Tsai. I believe the goaltender stopped that one, Tom.
It looked like it got it through, but still, BG retains possession.
The only time that Abby Lynn has shot the ball toward the net in this match so far that it hasn't gone in.
Wasn't a clean catch, otherwise Bedford would be starting upfield.
That's right. It was a rebound that was loose, and BG was able to secure it. And so they continue this possession that
It's important, though, for Guertin to establish other scorers, John. Otherwise, Bedford can just key in on Lynn as the game goes on, right?
I sense that, Tom, is why she passed it up so quickly a couple
exactly.
times. She knows that she wants to get.
She's up top now, quarterbacking this.
Yep, and that was number 6, Jordan Gable, that gave it to in the corner. Circling Madison Mandel, circling, looking to shoot. She's checked away, passes it, loose ball, and BG gets it back. Number 5 is Bella Dawson.
But good defense by Bedford. Didn't allow a clear shot, but we've got a flag, and someone's going to leave the game.
So Bella Dawson will have a clean look.
Let's see.
I guess it. Yep.
No, they don't leave. I thought it was that they'd be a man down, but no.
It didn't rise to that
No,
level apparently, but it
evidently not.
is a clean shot on goal for Bella if she chooses to take it. She goes to her left instead. Now she'll shoot it right in front, and it gets deflected over by the goaltender's stick. What a save by Irene
She
Tsai.
walked right in, but hesitated. She should have let it fly right away.
Yeah, you're right. It was a tentative try. And
Yeah, but again, good defense
Yeah.
by the Bulldogs.
Sure
That's what they're
is.
known for.
It's a minor
Right
miracle.
here. That's
Goal,
a
going
nice spin
low.
move.
Madison Mandel pots one, and then BG does get other people involved in the scoring.
Well, that was a great move, a great dodge by Mandel as she moved to her right, got an opening and saw it and shot right away, and timeout by the Bulldogs. They're down 3-0 here, 3:17 to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, we've almost played 9 minutes, Tom, and BG has kept Bedford scoreless. I didn't think they saw that coming.
Yeah, it happens. I mean,
Yeah.
a fast start. I mean, you can make up 3 goals fairly quickly in lacrosse, but again, in a game like this, you want to set the tone with a good start.
Right. Bedford is coming off a loss to Exeter. They only lost to a New Hampshire team this season so far, 14-10 at Exeter. Previously, they've beaten Dover, Londonderry, South, and Wyndham handily by 5 or 6 goals apiece. They put up 17 at Wyndham in a 17-11 victory there. Meanwhile, BG also with some impressive goal totals, 19-2 over Central Manchester West, and then 13-1 over both Wyndham and Concord. They also beat Portsmouth, Rhode Island, 11-6. Girls Lacrosse Division I. Girls Lacrosse Division I is one of the few sports where Sauhegan is in Division I, right?
Yes, you are correct. Yep.
Yeah. So.
And they made it to the semis last year and lost to Portsmouth. Battle of the sisters. The sisters coach each other. 2 sisters.
Oh wow.
Yep. So, and that's that BG got Portsmouth instead of Sauhegan in the finals. That would have been a great final, BG and Sauhegan. I would have liked to have seen that, but Portsmouth's a good team, great program.
Yeah.
They were in Division II a few years ago, and they dominated it, and then it was time to move up.
We'll have to take a look at the schedule and see if we can do a Portsmouth, maybe BG game at some point. If they're playing here, let's look down actually. There is no. They played Portsmouth, Rhode Island, but they're not going to play. Oh, Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Sorry, 5/15. So May 15.
believe it's out there, isn't it? Or is
It's here.
It's
yeah,
here?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's one to do, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll take a look at that possible championship
Maybe I should
preview.
call Pete Johnson back, our executive producer, because
Yeah.
he just called me about 10 minutes ago.
Did he? Do I have any messages?
Did you call me? I know,
Okay.
exactly. Yep.
And BG's going to control this. I think there was a violation call against Bedford, so Abby Lynn's off to the races.
That 15th is the day before the Battle of the Bridge. The Battle of the Bridge game will be
interesting.
the night of the 16th.
Cutting to the right, that was a triple team that repelled Abby Lynn's attack, so she backs it out, and it ends up with Charlotte Accomando. Sarah Brunel going to work. She is sticked out by the defender nicely for Bedford. That was, I believe, number 14, Andy Nugent on defense, who's had her hands full with these Bedford attackers. That's a save from tight quarters. That's a goal.
Rebound.
How did she get it back, Tom?
I have no idea.
Jordan Gable with the goal.
I have no idea how Gable got that ball back. I'd love to see that. Dan Young will have it for us, though. The
Yeah.
replay
Actually,
man extraordinaire.
It's Andrew Fenn that's handling it today.
Oh, is he handling the replays?
Sharing the duties at BCTV back at the studio.
Is Dan Young outside the studio sunning himself? Is that what he's doing right now?
You get a break? Dan will be on Riviera replays tomorrow.
Oh,
I
you
bet.
sure will.
So for the GNAC Championship, biggest game in Riviera men's lacrosse history, according to Tom King, who would know. So here's the face-off at midfield. BG just dominating this first quarter. They're up 4-0 and winning all the face-offs, it seems, all the draws.
Two, 3, 8 left in the first quarter.
Loose ball, kicked. Abby Lind actually just stopped playing because she kicked it, but there was no need. I guess it's not like basketball, right?
Nope.
Oh, did they just get corrected on the kick? I don't know. That was interesting. After BG was kind of tentatively going forward after Abby kicked it to a teammate, they whistled it dead and gave it back to Bedford. So I think that was what the call was. Bedford looking for that elusive first goal, down 4-0 with just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
That's the key to get on the board. Get on the board, get in the game.
Looking for the cutter in front. Can't find them right now. Here's number 4. The shot, the save was made as the whistle sounded. Peyton Bolduc got a great opportunity there.
Guertin is defending just about every shot. The problem is when you defend a shot and you have contact, there's going to be a free possession.
Number 88, Madeline Eder-Linnell, just seems to have a knack for knowing where the shooter's going to try to put it.
She's going to have to see this one because it's going to come quick. No. Defoul right in front.
Goal.
Yeah, nice pass.
Yeah, the first of the match. Maddie Kiley, number 3. I'm keeping an eye on her as she runs back to the middle of the field. If she's taking the draw, it is, in fact, Maddie. No? It's that player right there on the 40.
Well, it doesn't depend on who takes the draw.
Oh, right. No, I thought she was taking them all, but she's not. That's her right there on the 40, and I think that is number 3.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Maddie Kiley gets the first goal of the game for Bedford, a much-needed goal with 1:19 to go in the first quarter.
Off a nice pass, and I didn't see who passed it.
It was in heavy traffic in front, and it took basically a no-chance slam dunk to beat Maddie Eder-Linnell.
Again, the draw controls are big. At some point, Bedford, which is
they got the goal off of that last win, even though it was off a violation.
They're up 3-2, and they win this one.
Yeah, it was a body check given, and so
they've won 4 out of the 6 draw controls, by my count. Now,
the wrong player tried to restart it.
A minute left in the period, right? So this is big for Guertin to try to keep the Bulldogs off the board, but it's also a big test for Bedford because if they can get on the board, and if they can do it quickly, the way they're winning these draws, they could really close this gap very quickly, even before the break at the end of the period.
That's Maddie Kiley with the ball. She's right behind the net.
And a turnover.
A turnover. BG jumps on it. 37 seconds left in the quarter. And it's a loose ball. They put it on the turf.
Yes, they did.
And they hand it back to Bedford.
Yeah, the passing was not sharp. That's the big key to transition game, and it wasn't there for Guertin that time.
Tegan O'Donnell passes it up to her teammate who gets
violation,
stick checked.
Guertin, she got stick checked, and it's going to be a free possession.
Opportunity for Bedford to make it a 4-2 game if they pot one here, but they got 22 seconds to do it in the first quarter.
Oh, look at that pass.
The one-timer by Keeley doesn't go.
That's because Linnell read it and came out with a high stick and made the save.
Stuffed it. You're right. And she did read it ahead of time, knew exactly what Bedford was trying to do. Great play design there by Bedford, but just not the finish. They still have it, though, with plenty of time to try to...
Yeah, 14.7 seconds. So the more they have it, the less BG's got it. So it looks like the Cardinals aren't going to be able to put up another goal before the end of the quarter. Unless they can win a draw and go down quick if Bedford scores. Referee checked something. I don't know if it was the clock. They got to talk something over. She came over to the table area, I believe.
Yeah, she put up a 2. Maybe that was just to put 2 seconds back on the...
Yes, they just did. 15.2 seconds to play.
Okay. And Bedford with a chance again here. Let's see if they do the same thing. No, they're going to go for the shot and miss to the left instead of a...
They still have possession, though.
Yeah, instead of a pass and a one-timer.
Good job by the Bulldogs in the last, I'd say, 5-6 minutes. Oh, look at that, right in, and Linnell read it again and makes the stop. I don't believe that went in, right? No, it didn't.
So BG holds off the Bedford attack in the final minute to preserve a 3-goal lead as we go to the second quarter. 4-1. BG girls lead it here at Stellos.
All right, John Collins, enjoy the second period. I'll be back at halftime.
All right, enjoy the sun and the turf as opposed to the sun and the surf. John Collins with Tom King. We're on BCTV and Nashua ETV. Our executive producer, Pete Johnson, and we'll be back with the second quarter coming right up. Welcome back to Stellos Stadium in Nashua, everybody. What is a beautiful first Friday in May 2nd, 2025, as we go to the second quarter of this matchup between the Bedford girls and the BG girls lacrosse teams. Both of these teams have, or both of these schools have tasted the championship trophy, the main goal of the league, of the season, multiple times in their school histories. Bedford most recently in 2023, and BG right before that had come off quite a run from 2018 on, winning every championship available in girls lacrosse. Portsmouth took it last year. Portsmouth's off to an 8-0 start this season. We have Tim O'Neill on camera on Nashua ETV and Andrew Fenn from BCTV back at the studio on replays. We've had some great reason to show replays in the first quarter. Very exciting, very competitive, but mostly dominated by Bishop Guertin, who got a lot of shots on goal, a lot of possession time, and a lot of these draws, these wins on the faceoffs that led directly to goals. In fact, Bedford got that kickball violation. They got the ball back, half of center of the field face-off, and they went right down and scored their only goal of the game off of basically a face-off win awarded by the officials. So that's something that Bedford's going to be looking to correct here in the second quarter if they're going to make their way back to tie or win this game. BG 5-1 coming in, Bedford 4-2. So if Bedford wins, they'd be 5-2, and so would the Cardinals. But of course, BG wants to go 6-1 and match Nashua South's great start. Nashua South off to a 6-1 season beginning. So the goalies switched sides, and that indication to the right means BG will be on the attack on offense here as they are awarded the face-off. The opening face-off of the second quarter. Fresh 12 minutes up on the board. BG looking to add to a 4-1 lead. Abigail Lynn has the 2 goals, leading all scorers so far. Jordan Gable and Madison Mendel are your 2 other scorers for Guertin. A lot of slam dunk goals in this game. Players working it into teammates down deep and just kind of going over the top of the goaltenders. With it, Jordan Gable. She's got one of the goals, and so does Madison Mendel. They both had a touch there. Goes behind the net to Bella Dawson. Always lurking, always dangerous is Abby Lynn. Looking for a return pass instead. The charge and the goal scored by Charlotte Accomando. Accomando got in the slot deep and made it no mistake with that laser down low to beat the goaltender. Irene really had no chance on that one. It's 5-1 as BG controlled it fully for the first minute of the second quarter and then finished it off of the shot by Charlotte Accomando, the sophomore midfielder on the score sheet. So she's got 1. Madison Mendel has 1. Abby Lynn's got 2. Jordan Gable. And it's the only goal of the game for Bedford. Maddie Keeley, number 3, on a good feed, one-timer basically over the top down deep when Bedford had possession late in the first quarter. Been lengthy setups here at midfield to get it right, and then the ball pops in the air, and it's a loose ball scramble that Bedford's going to win. Good job getting it to it by Maddie Keeley. I think that was one of the strategies that Bedford had when they took her off the draw, so she could be free to outrun everybody to the loose ball. She just did. Bedford with possession. Desperately wanting to score here as they're down by 4 goals, their biggest deficit of the game so far, as we make our way deeper into the second quarter. Bedford behind the net they go on the fresh new turf here at Stellos. Great to see it, and great to have these athletes playing so well on it. There's a missed pass right in the middle. Great design. Maddie Keeley, though, was fouled as she went deep. But they could, rather than surrender what would have been an easy goal, it was actually a good foul by Charlotte Accomando, who was right on her back. Number 14 got called, whistle for the violation. And so on the resume, it's going to be... let's see, where the ball ended up behind the net, so that's where Bedford will restart. Not as a threatening spot. Oh, that was Keeley near side. I couldn't see who had it. It almost looked like a shell game there for a second. It was Maddie Keeley that had it, but she dished it behind the goal. There's a cut across the middle, a slip and a fall, and a errant shot. Missed its target, missed the net. Let's see, a first slip we have seen on the new turf in this game. I believe that was number 23, Emerson Drown. Calling for it in deep. No, circling around, getting pushed to outside is Eloise Montagno. Keeley gets pushed out wide. Bedford with a lengthy possession here, but haven't had really any easy shooting opportunities. As you see, a case in point, a double team, a loose ball, and it is a good takeaway by BG, legally done, no foul. And the great defense, the great hustle on defense, the tenacity pays off as it leads to a loose ball and a takeaway. Just the one goal for Bedford to show for their time of possession in the first and now second quarters. BG looking to make it a 5-goal lead if they can score here on this possession. Madison Mendel sends it up near corner to Jordan Gable. All the way around the perimeter it goes to Charlotte Accomando. And on the far side, I believe that's Abby. And that is Madison Mendel. Let's see if Jordan Gable wants to try a shot. She fakes right, goes left. Now she gets in tight. The shot is blocked. That was a handoff, actually, to number 5. Bella Dawson had a great chance to score her first goal, but it was a clean look and a great save by Irene Tsai to deny her that goal. Bedford having all kinds of difficulty getting the ball out of the defensive zone. There's a triple team running through it. Good determination and hustle, and getting fouled finally as she neared midfield was the defender or the midfielder for Bedford, number 12, Molly Muir, I believe that is. Listed as only a freshman on our roster. It's a nice pass on the wing. Bedford just reloading with talent. Sprinting downfield. Emerson Drown cutting towards the middle. She gets triple teamed and fouled. You see a triple team like that and a lot of contact, it is very unusual that a foul won't be called. And that's what we have here is the players have to back off the shooter. And she goes face to face with the goaltender. Gets sandwiched, and it is a closeout by the defense. They were able to pinch off the shooter, and it turned into really a nothing kind of a shot. Unfortunately for Bedford, another opportunity goes by the wayside. BG gaining all kinds of ground down the near sideline. Now with it is Bella Dawson. Dawson curling around behind the net. Tomasello with it. That's Mariella Tomasello holding it. She gives it off to Charlotte Accomando. They have spread the goal scoring around since 2 goals scored quickly. That is a great save by somebody, or a block in traffic in deep. It's hard to believe that ball didn't go in, as great a angle that BG had for the shooter when she let it go. Now with it is Bella Dawson. She got denied earlier. She's determined to get a goal before this thing ends. Jordan Gable with it now. She backs out towards our camera near sideline. Gives it up. Round behind the net from Madison Mendel to Mariella Tomasello and to the far side. Content to circle the wagons, Bedford's defense. Trying to stop the penetration that just happened there, and it's a foot save. What a nice save by Irene Tsai. Able to square up, make herself big in the goal, and too tough to beat on what was a point-blank attempt by Bishop Guertin. Another shot that you would have, well, more than a 50% chance of scoring, and instead the goaltender comes up big. Keeps the score 5-1, keeps Bedford in it. Tsai has it, the goaltender has it in that oversized stick basket, and she's going to fling it off to the far side, and just smothering forechecking by BG produces a violation against the Cardinals. It's still Bedford ball, but just making life tough for the defenders for Bedford to get it out of their own end, and they turn it over. The pressure led to a unforced error by Bedford, just trying to get it out of their own half of the field. That's a loose ball scooped up by the Cardinals. Nicely done by Sarah Brunel. She got, I think, fouled from behind there, and they're going to call a timeout. Bishop Guertin wants one, perhaps. Want to talk some strategy? It has been a defensively dominated second quarter. It was 4-1 after 1, and it is 5-1 after, 10 minutes, or make the, they put 2 minutes. They wipe out the time is 4:39 left. So we had a 12-minute start, so that's quick math, 7.5 minutes about played, and only 1 goal. So had to eat my words about a high-scoring game. It's been a defensive struggle here in the second quarter. Both defenses have been very, very tough. We'll take a break, come back to Stellos with more second quarter action. Back to Stellos, back to the hot box, the greenhouse, the sauna here on a early May Friday. Surprisingly, Pete Johnson, our executive producer, pointing out that it is the time of the season where you see those dramatic differences in morning or nighttime and daytime temperatures, mentioning Berlin being in the 30s one morning and then in the 80s the same afternoon. So we've had that kind of a swing today. It was cool and cloudy earlier in the 50s, and it feels like a beach day now in the midsummer, at least up here in the booth at Stellos. Pressure is on, the heat is on. The Bedford defense once again as BG has the ball after the timeout, the strategic timeout, trying to give the players time to rehydrate and regenerate some energy here. Off a pick, BG trying to go up by 5. That's a shot that missed the far post by about a foot. We got a great angle look at that. That was number 3. That was Abby Lynn going for the hat trick right there. Rare miss for her as she tried to pick the upper left corner, but BG retains possession as Charlotte Accomando goes to work, looking for her second. She's got it. Goes right up and over Irene Sy at full velocity from only about 5 feet away. No chance for the Bedford goaltender once Charlotte worked her way down deep right post. And it is a 6-1 BG lead. The Cardinals look like the better team at the moment, at least here in the first half. There's a lot to be decided yet, with at least 28 minutes of lacrosse left to go, 4 here in the second and 24 more in the next half. But Bedford has got to right the ship as far as winning draws and finishing with goals on their times of possession. One of the big reasons why they have only one goal is the netminder for Bishop Guertin, Madeline Eder-Linnell, the senior. Top-notch goaltender for Bishop Guertin, and one of the reasons they have hopes of going back to the championship game later this spring. The draw at midfield. Whistle immediately, and a redraw according to our expert here in the booth, Rich McDonough, indicated by the official. Crisscrossing their arms means a redraw rather than awarding it to one team or the other. Watching the Stanley Cup playoffs a lot these days, it kind of annoys me how many times the linesmen wave the face-off takers out of the circle because they won't drop the puck, holding it and waiting for that person to literally cross the line and kick them out. I find myself yelling at the screen, drop the puck, a lot. And there's the draw, finally. Picked up, loose ball, nicely scored by Bishop Guertin. I think that was Sarah Brunel, number 2. She's been doing that so far. It could have been number 6 running to the near side now, Jordan Gable, that did that. But that's a key part of the game, winning those loose balls, those ground balls that adds to your time of possession and then ends up adding to your goal total in the final tally. 3.5 minutes to go, second quarter. BG controlling the shot, goal. Sarah Brunel ran into a Bedford player as she let that one fly. Hopefully everybody is okay. Price paid for that great shot and goal by Sarah Brunel, who gets her first goal of the game. She's got one. Jordan Gable has one. Madison Mendel has one. Charlotte Accomando's got 2, and Abby Lynn has 2. That add up to 7 goals. Was it 7-1 is on the board. Oh, so because of the collision, they apparently they called it a foul against Bedford. So the rich get richer here as BG scores a goal on the body check by Bedford as Sarah Brunel let it go. And because of that, the penalty is that BG is automatically awarded possession on the next draw. So off on the attack they go again, and Abby Lynn just holding it 20 yards out from goal straight on. Is she going to make a move and go for her hat trick? Goes to her right, dishes it in the middle. It was a good idea, but she was not able to connect, and scooping up the loose ball. Heads up play by Irene Sy. The netminder for Bedford diffuses the attack after the unforced error by BG. Abby Lynn passing up the shot, by the way. She probably could have scored from that right slot area, but decided to try to pass it to Jordan Gable in the middle instead, and missed fired on the pass. May have caught Jordan off guard. Ball ended up on the turf and in the stick basket of the goaltender Irene Sy. So Bedford now almost at midfield, able to get into the O-zone finally. It's been a while for the Bedford Bulldogs girls lacrosse team to get on the attack here in the offensive zone. But they do it with just over 2 minutes to go in the second quarter, in the first half. Behind the net it goes. Bedford absolutely needs the next goal, down 7-1. Circling, looking for an open teammate. There it is. And trying to bat it in was Maddie Keeley on the pass up high. I don't think she kind of gave up trying to catch that and just kind of try to bat it down into the net. But Bedford retains possession. One-on-one battle here. Spinning, that's a violation. And give me a chance to get a uniform number. It's 2. It is Eloise Montagano. And Montagano, Eloise has a great chance here to get Bedford's second goal as she angles in on Maddie Eder-Linnell. Brilliant, blinding sunshine here at Stellos. She lost it. It trickled out of her net, her stick handle as she went toward the net. Might have been a stick-on-stick that knocked it out of there, but she never got a shot away. And so opportunity missed there for Eloise, and back in possession of the ball are the Cardinals with their goaltender, Madeline Eder-Linnell, 10 yards out of the net, looking for a teammate to pass to. And no hurry as we get under a minute left, and BG leading this by 6 goals. Maddie's waiting for somebody to come after her, I think. She is taking her sweet time. The goaltender for Bishop Guertin still with it. And she spins one up, and she loses it. Scooping up, here's an opportunity to sprint in and shoot and score. So a little bit lackadaisical on getting the ball out of their own zone there for Bishop Guertin, and they paid the price. And I believe that was Maddie Keeley that pounced, and you cannot give her that kind of an opportunity. She sprinted downfield, basically a good 2-3 yards ahead of the nearest defender. And unnecessary blunder there by BG to give up a goal with about a half minute left in the first half, as they had ball control firmly in grasp and kind of a little bit too casual about receiving that first pass in the vicinity of Maddie Keeley. You really don't want to do that, because if you do make a mistake like that, there's the results in the back of the net. Keeley's taking this draw for Bedford. She would love to notch a hat trick before this first half ends, and she gets that draw. Great work by Maddie Keeley, and she is sprinting downfield with a determination to get a shot away before this half ends, trying to work her way through a triple team, has to dish it, and a player hits the deck, and we have no violation called. Bedford's not going to like that. 14 seconds, there is enough to go down here and for BG to score all the way down the field. Dishing in the front, and a goal. What a tic-tac-toe play. 6-11 to, is that Grable? Was it Gable that got the finish? Tim, did you see the number? It was then a tic-tac-toe goal for Abby Lynn. Wow. As we watch the replay from Andrew Fenn back at BC TV, that was perfection there by BG, running the fast break literally end to end after the non-call on the, it was number 5? Okay. Bella Dawson would have been the goal scorer there. And that was, who was the 3 fastest players on the BG team probably that were in on that tic-tac goal. And Tim O'Neill, our cameraman, has confirmed it, as you probably see in Andrew Fens replay. It was Bella Dawson that finished off the first half in spectacular fashion for BG. And so instead of a 7-3 match, it's an 8-2 match as BG is able to make full advantage of the last 15 seconds, sprinting down and scoring. John Collins with Tom King. It is girls lacrosse here at Stellos Stadium. We'll have the second half coming up. Bedford BG after this halftime break. Welcome back, everybody, to Stellos Stadium in Nashua as we get set for the second half. Bishop Guertin girls lacrosse hosting Bedford girls lacrosse. Both of these schools have had their share of state championships. BG looked dominant in that first half, Tom. 8-2
Well,
lead.
I mean, Bedford gets that goal to break the streak, right?
Yep.
And you're thinking, okay, well, that's it. You know, BG will go in at halftime, and you just have to keep Bedford off the board. Well, they win. You know, they make a stop down here after Bedford wins the draw, and that was the quickest. That's why transition is so important in lacrosse and girls lacrosse. Look at that quick transition. Probably took about, I don't know, John. It was maybe
It was a track
6,
meet.
7 seconds
100-yard dash.
and it was just quick.
Yeah.
That's just it. Speed kills in
and,
lacrosse.
and leading the charge was Jordan Gable, who showed that she might be number 6 for BG. Might be the fastest.
That
girl
was the
on
best. She
yeah.
was that exactly what Gable did, running that transition game down. Just made a difference, and it had to deflate Bedford.
And
right
Madison
after they
Mandel was
scored.
a step behind her. She took the pass in the middle, passed it on the wing to Bella Dawson. She put it in.
Yep.
How about the non-call, though, that went before that, Tom, down here on the left side
Yes.
where Bedford was on the attack with about 20 seconds left?
And they thought they should have gotten
There was
it.
a lot of contact.
Yep.
But that was big because that's what led to the Dawson goal and gave us an 8-2 game instead of what could have been 7-3. So a fresh 12 minutes up on the board for the third quarter. And we are just about underway. Nashua ETV and BCTV, our Bedford viewers joining us for this battle here at Stellos. The draw is won by Maddie Keeley for Bedford. Big win
Tell
to
you,
begin
they
the
are
third
winning
quarter.
those draws. That's the one outlier that it goes against the grain, right? You win the draw, you should win the game or be winning the game, and it's not the case right now.
We've had some turnovers, and BG's capitalized. They've been able to finish where Bedford has not.
Bedford needs to start this quarter fast.
Trying to do so here. Edging their way toward the front and slipping and falling, and they're going to call it against BG, or is that just a slip?
They're going to call it against
Yep.
the Cardinals because of the stick over, behind her. But you know what? She started slipping before that.
I saw that too. I
Yeah.
believe you're right.
Yep.
But it's a great chance for Bedford.
But not, 10 times out of 10, that call is going to go against the defense.
Right. It just looks bad.
Right.
You got to
The
stick
look.
on the player that slipped. The restart. Bedford's going to back it out.
Yep, that's a smart play. Didn't think they had the clear shot.
Charging down the slot. Doesn't let it fly, though.
There's no cutter. Do you notice that? Bedford
Yeah.
doesn't use the cutter that often.
Well, they're kind of relying on
seem-
the shooter that
Yeah,
going
exactly.
alone. Of course, it was a great first half again for the goaltender, the
Look
netminder,
at that triple team.
and the
It's not-
shot never got through.
Triple team whistle goes. Let's see. Is it going to go against Bedford or BG? I think
Yeah,
it's going to go against Bedford.
It is as the whistle
But
came
see,
after
all
BG got
that-
possession.
I don't know the girls' game all that well. I'm not a coach, but all that space, you would have thought, right? The cutter would come down, and didn't happen. Now BG is going to try to get. They
Yeah.
won't get the quick transition, but Bedford's going to try to pressure this and see if they can get the ball back.
I know exactly what you mean. There was a whole slot on
Oh, there was a hole
that they didn't
in a
fill.
row, and they didn't
Some
fill
player
it.
had to come in, and
pass,
Yeah.
and get the cutter.
I'm sure that'll show up on video. I don't know if that was kind of a semi-injury timeout there to allow number 15 for BG, Elena Marciano, to gather herself. She's
Now,
got
this
it.
is big. BG's got to
Yeah.
get it out, and they got to get it to somebody who can cross the halfway line.
BG doing a better job of getting the ball
And
out
they
of their
do.
defensive
Yep,
zone.
That's the key. Get it out of that zone, transition, but nothing was better than I've seen at the end of that half.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Near side, Bella Dawson goes behind the goal. Mariela Tomasino back up top it goes to Charlotte Accomando, who's
Hard shot.
got 2 goals in this game. She could get a hat trick in this half, as could Abby Lynn, who's got 2. And here's Accomando, number 14. She's got a hard shot. Dishing it, Jordan Gable. Cutting to the middle, looking for the hat trick, taking one in the face. That was Sarah Bunnell, actually. That's number 2 that got violated there with a stick to the face.
And a yellow card.
Yeah.
Because of the contact, that's going to be a penalty, and BG will have a man advantage.
Just trying to stay aggressive and not give up an easy goal. Carly Hodgson-Rogers is getting penalized there for a reckless slash up top. And Sarah Brunel on the restart with number 2 facing off against the goaltender, Irene Tsai. Let's see if she just lets it fly. One step away from the 10-yard line, and on the whistle, restarted.
Not a good defense by Bedford. They closed in, and a nice play by the Bulldogs. They stopped what would have been a big goal to really open it up.
Yeah, I don't know if Sarah Brunel just waited too long. And one player we haven't called a lot, Tom, for BG is Abby Lynn. She hasn't taken many shots since she scored too early.
I know. They got to get Lynn back involved in the
she was
offense.
giving up the ball a lot.
Yep.
Including one of the plays down here in the second quarter. She tried to pass it into the middle.
BG gets a turnover, John. Right on top. This is
Oh,
a big
behind
ball.
the back.
And a big save. What a great save.
Oh, Sarah Brunel went behind her head with that shot, and ready for it was Irene Tsai. Maddie Kiley is the pronunciation. I'm sorry to our Bedford viewers. I went with the incorrect version, but it's Madeline Kiley, senior midfielder, best player in the first half for Bedford, and will be a key to any comeback here for the Bulldogs in the second half. Number 3 in the black and red. So Bedford trying to work that ball out of the defensive zone. It's a 3-on-1 forecheck and able to survive it, it looks like.
I guarantee you, John, if Bedford had had the transition that BG had at the end of that half, it would be an immediate timeout.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bedford's going to go retreat a little bit to go forward. And sprinting down the middle.
Callie Santos would not have gone for that.
Tegan O'Donnell able to do the job with that long stick. Gets it up to Maddie Kiley. Maddie Kiley toward the other side. She still has it. Number 3 flips it in the middle, and the slam dunk try goes wide to the left.
Boy, Bedford's shooting is just off. Don't you see that?
Yeah, it is.
It's just off. That should have been a slam dunk goal with that one-on-one. Weren't able to do it.
That was point blank on the feed to the middle.
I think what Bedford's got to do is maybe whip the ball. You see it in boys lacrosse all the time. Whip the ball down low and see if you can beat Edna Liddell that way.
It's worth a try. Bedford on the resume. They made a mistake in the first half where the player took a step before the whistle. They wait this time. The shot saved, and she was down low waiting for it.
Another overhead shot that went right straight down.
It did, and right at her feet. Maddie Eder-Linnell makes the save.
Bedford's, I think the story of the game is Bedford has not been able to make the most of their offensive possessions.
Oh, totally. And Maddie, in goal for BG, she plays like she's an NHL goaltender with all the padding. And, of course, you know, you don't get to
I tell you,
wear that.
In a boys and girls game as a goalie, I mean, you talked to
oh, right?
this
bare skin?
Yeah.
With that,
thank you.
And you felt that ball once, right? You got hit by it once?
Oh, yes.
And like, no, thank you is
Yeah,
right.
I got hit with jeans
Once
on.
was enough, right? With jeans on. And the goalie gets bodied, and that's a violation against Bedford, so they're going to have a player. I'd rather not have somebody right behind me as a goaltender, but course, they had an unforced error, a blunder in the last minute to give up a goal, did BG, as they had an errant pass from the goalie to a defenseman picked up by Maddie Kiley. Maddie Kiley is able to head off the BG player, Sydney Brophy, at midfield, but they go the other way now. Lindsay Rodell passes it up ahead, and now it's the attackers that have it for Bishop Guertin. Well, I said there might be a lot of goals scored in this game, and then the defense had a totally different idea about that, Tom.
Yeah, the defense has done the trick here in the second half. I mean, we're midway through the third quarter.
Yeah, the first quarter was the high-scoring quarter. The second and now this third quarter.
Well, that's the way it was in the boys' game. Well, the second quarter was the high score. Well, there was first quarter last night in the boys' game was back and forth high scoring. All right, then the second quarter was all BG, and they got 7 goals in the quarter. So it was, there was scoring there, and then it slowed down. Second half was slow.
Looking to shoot it and nowhere
trying to get that ride where they
in the
just
middle.
Turn.
Errant pass. It's a foot race. BG's going to retain possession. In the corner is Acamando. She's got 2. Abby Lynn has 2. And for Bedford, Maddie Kiley has 2. So somebody's going to get a hat trick, it feels like, here in this second half. Who will it be? BG in no hurry, no shot clock. Acamando passes near side on the sprint. Bella Dawson.
No, that's a good close by
Bedford. And a good block.
Closed, and ground ball pickup is going to be key, and Bedford's got it. That's a great close by the Bulldog defense.
Great stamina here.
Callie Santos, you got to think that she wants her offense to get clicking again, and it really hasn't.
Carly Hodgson-Rogers got the best of that battle on defense, and she was able to sprint, pick up the loose ball off the ground, and take it into the O-zone. So great sequence there by number 1 for Bedford, Carly Hodgson-Rogers. Around the perimeter it goes now as Bedford looks for their third goal of the game.
It's 8 minutes off the clock that they've kept BG to 1 goal. Actually, no goals. And they haven't been able to score themselves. That's opportunity wasted.
Yes, it is. And so Bedford has it now.
And same for Guertin. They haven't been able to pull away, right?
Right.
They get 2 goals. It's a 10-2 game, at least 2, and it's 10-2, and it's a whole different deal. Bedford's got second life, but they've got to take advantage of it here with 3:37 left to play in the third.
In front. And it looked like the goaltender, the netminder, got her stick in the passing lane.
Edna Linnell is such a different player than she was even a year ago, even 2 years ago. Much more confidence in that goal.
Absolutely. She reads shots and passes before they happen.
She reads the field really well.
That's the key to stopping a good offense, oftentimes. Downfield come the Cardinals, looking for that elusive 9th goal. And so Bishop Guertin's going to slow it down a little bit. At least the player's not named Abby Lynn, who gets another stick up high around the head region.
She got hit, so she'll have a free possession. Let's see if she is the most accurate shooter, I think, on this team that I've seen so far. We'll see if she can take advantage of that. The key is you've got to get the shot off before the defense closes.
Absolutely. We've seen too many players hold it and never get a shot away.
Right. So let's see what happens here.
You have to wait for the whistle, and you'll see Abby go to work.
That's it. The key is the first step.
Repositioning some of the players in the proper spot. Waiting for that whistle.
I'd go low if I were her. And she
does. She goes low right and finds an open spot and gets her 3rd goal. Abby Lynn with the hat trick, and it is a 9-2 Bishop Guertin lead, and it's beginning to look more and more insurmountable here, barring a total collapse on defense by the Cardinals.
Yep. But who would have thought that would have been the first goal of the quarter, right?
No.
2:06 to play.
Yeah. Nearly a full 10 minutes off the clock before we saw a goal here in the second half. Amazing. as that seems to be.
I think Tim O'Neill's moving that clock faster. I think that's what's going on.
Yes.
Pete Johnson, our executive producer. Tim O'Neill on camera. Dan Young sunning himself outside the studio.
Allegedly. By you. Yes, and Andrew Fenn on replays at BCTV.
Dan's not going to talk to me at all.
After he manned the camera 5 hours for you at SNU Arena.
No, Tim O'Neill did.
I did. Dan did too.
That's right. Dan was
Yeah.
behind the goal.
Yes,
That's right.
yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, but Dan could sit down. There were seats there. And everything else.
Oh, that's true. He could, you know. Yeah.
You sat for 4 periods.
I did.
I stood.
I sat for 7 periods.
I stood. Oh,
Remember?
yeah, 7 periods.
You said
yeah.
you'd never seen a 7 on the
Right, never
on
seen
the
a 7
scoreboard
on the
up
clock.
there.
That's
7
right, and
period.
I used that and ran that picture in my tourney trail story in the Telegraph.
And it was not 7th heaven either.
No,
it was
no.
7th hell. So yeah, it was a long game,
Sure was.
especially for the girls team that was waiting to play their final after.
But the best part was watching Tim O'Neill suffer. That was,
Oh
that
no!
was the best part. That was fun.
What's wrong with you?
Around
the perimeter it goes.
I just hate everyone. That's the way it is.
In the middle. She doesn't shoot it. Sarah Burnell held off.
Smart play.
Yeah.
You get the lead. You get a 9-2 lead. You
Oh,
don't need
that's
to,
right. Don't need to force it from distance.
1:29 to play. You can hold the ball for the rest of the half if you want. There's no shot clock.
Everybody's getting a touch here. Maria.
Take that 9-2 lead into the fourth quarter. Or if you can get a goal in the last 15 seconds of the period, and then go ahead.
Yeah, you know what? That did weigh into her decision not to shoot.
Let's see. I wonder. It's 1:10 to
take
play.
time off the clock.
Let's see what they do.
They're going for the last shot of this.
They may think they can get more than that in this quarter.
In front.
Cutter there. You got to get that.
Goal.
Yep, got to get that.
Yeah, just a wraparound goal. Yep. Goaltender had no chance.
Nope.
I believe that was number 6, Jordan Gable, that got the goal.
Nice pass. Yep. There it is. I love it. Dan Young is out in the sunshine. We have the proof. We have the evidence.
Where? There he is.
We have the evidence.
Oh, my gosh. He texted it. He went out. He probably just went out just for you.
Probably did. That's okay. Anything to prove me right.
Slaving at the monitor and just went out to.
Yep.
Okay, I'll give you your shot, Tom.
All right.
That's a good shot. Hopefully you can insert that into the edit somehow. Dan Young looks like a candidate for the papal conclave with that great view there. Looking very saintly compared to the guy that's calling him out. Forgets he's at the SNU Arena.
I'm hoping that there's
and
some chance.
Wishes suffering
I'm
on Tim
hoping
O'Neill.
there's some chance I get elected Pope. I'm hoping there's just some way.
There is less.
Didn't win an Oscar. Didn't win a Grammy.
Yeah, there's less chance you get elected Pope than the
Can I get
Bruins win the
elected
Stanley
Pope?
Cup.
Didn't get
this year.
drafted by the NFL. Can I get elected Pope, please? Can somebody throw me? Can somebody show me some love? Come on.
I'll tell you what, I love that movie Conclave. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. So behind the net it goes. Bishop Guertin taking the last 38 seconds off the clock remaining, it looks like, here before they're going to shoot again.
I'll have to ask Brother Ralph at BG if he's got any ins,
Well, the conclave starts May 7th, so you get a flight to take.
I got some time.
Yeah. You get on
we're May what? We're May 2?
You get on the plane to Rome. Yeah, we're May 2.
Yep.
All the way downfield. Great run by Carly Rogers and drop.
And a player hits the ground, but there's no call, and the ball goes
out of bounds. You can't make that mistake.
That's right, and BG gets it. Another
5
mistake by
seconds
Bedford.
left.
So the big thing is just keep the ball and run it out and run the clock out, and that's what they'll do.
Right, so they take a 10-2 lead to the fourth quarter. We'll take a break. We're at Stellos, Bedford versus BG. Come back with us. Welcome back to Stellos Stadium in Nashua, where the Guertin Cardinals lead 10-2, and you want to talk about you have located a certain someone?
Yes, I've located now. We didn't know. I didn't know that Andrew is in the studio, right?
Oh.
So that's not good for Dan, because what I'm saying now is Andrew you make sure Dan buys you dinner.
Whoa.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yep. You're doing the work there,
based
and
on-
Dan's just
oh.
hanging around, you know?
That's not what Pete said. He didn't say he was hanging around. He said he was doing a monster task of rewiring the Nashua ETV studios. He did. He's like, I wouldn't wish that on my worst
Last time
enemy.
we saw Danny was outside. All right, does he got wired? Does he got wired outside?
Taking a break. So Bedford needs to win every draw and finish every possession, Tom, if they have any chance of coming back. And it's down 8. They've only scored 2 through 3 quarters. So
doesn't look like it's
Yeah.
gonna. It's gonna take a miracle, I think,
Yeah.
for the Bulldogs. I mean, you can do it. You know, you can do it, but you're not gonna do it against this team, I don't think. Of course, famous last words. You never know.
Right. So Maddie Kiley and it looks like Abby Lynn. No, Abby Lynn's on the right. Let's see. After the ball pops up in the air, we'll be able to determine if it's Abby Lynn. Yeah, it is Abby Lynn and Maddie Kiley. Battle of number
And a player
threes.
already hits the deck.
Bedford more determined to get
Again,
that.
they win those draws.
Yeah, they sprinted first to the loose ball, ground ball
That's
pickup.
not the issue in this game. The issue is BG in transition.
Right in front and a
And
goal.
a goal. That's what Bedford's got to
Wow.
do. They
That's
caught
how-
BG flat-footed, I think, John.
They sure did. And from her opening draw win in the end, she gets the ball from a teammate and goes straight downfield, down the middle, and scores. Madeline Kiley, the senior, team leader, hat trick, all 3 Bedford goals. 10-3 game. So that's the way to start if you're the Bulldogs and the senior leader of the team. So BG's going to go to that strategy where they're going to have it's like another player battle Maddie Kiley for the draw here. And
Bedford has never led in this game. It was 3-0, 4-0, 4 straight goals by BG to start.
I misspoke. That was Abby Lynn that won that draw. Number 3 for BG. So she bounces right back.
It's a rare draw win for the Cardinals, really, in this game.
Continuation.
Well, I don't want to block your view there with my arm, John. So I'll go over and stand next to Tim O'Neill where the clear air is.
On the wing, number 20 for BG is Cameron Layton, the sophomore, getting some time. With the ball is Madison Mendel looking for a second goal. Save is made.
Nice save.
Loose ball in front. And
That shot should have been a wrister low instead of just dumping it down low. It's an easy save, I think. No, nothing against what the goalie's got to do. Any save, I guess, is a hard one, but that was almost a predictable shot. Guertin's got to start to aim a little low, I think, maybe. A lot of these shots, though, are, overhead, so.
Bella Dawson playing catch with Mariella Tomasello.
Dawson is a key on that side. She played really well in the game I saw, the opener.
Jordan Gable inching her way out for a possible shot. Madison Mendel pinches in and hits the upper outer
How did she get that?
corner. Yeah.
How did she get that? There was only one spot that she could put it, and she found it.
Madison Mendel with a marvelous goal to even things up here in the 4th quarter. A goal apiece.
Yeah, well, it's not
11-3
even things up in the quarter, but 11-3 in
quarter.
favor of Guertin.
Yeah, you're right.
Down the way is Rich McDonough.
Yeah.
He's using all these fancy lacrosse terms, but you know what? He's doing it for the highlight guy. But you know
Yeah.
what? After seeing goalies play the last few years with no equipment on and what they have to do with the hard shots, now we know why Rich McDonough is the way he is, right? Now we know why.
Gosh, everybody's getting it from you.
Now
today.
we know
Wow.
why, He'll
That's
tell you. He'll be
amazing.
the first to admit it.
Wow. Yeah, take a special person to play goal in lacrosse. For
Yes,
sure.
it does. And the effects are lasting.
And
believe
then,
me.
brutal today. Must be the heat.
It is. It's the last. Well, this isn't the last game of the week. I got another one on tomorrow.
Oh,
1
that's
o'clock.
right. You
Yep.
do.
We'll be together again tomorrow, John.
Yes, we will. 1 o'clock start at Riviere. 3 versus 3 battle here. It's been terrific today, and it's been just about even lately. Bishop Guertin won that one from Abby Lynn's draw against Maddie Kiley.
One of the few missed long passes in transition. If Guertin recovers it.
They do. That's the key. They still have it. Maria Tomasello hands it off. In front, Madison Mendel kind of telegraphed that pass a bit to Cameron Layton, and Bedford intercepted.
You know, for the defense that Bedford's played,
There should be a closer game.
Yeah, they're not getting the result out of it.
They're not.
You know?
And this is part of it. They had so much difficulty just getting the ball downfield without turning it over.
I just think their offense just hasn't been able to find others to
Here
get the
comes
ball.
the turnover.
Hasn't clicked.
Right there.
Yep.
So all that defensive work that they did to stop them and get the ball,
the turnovers.
gave it away. Can't do it. BG coming downfield.
I mean, the only sport we work on, John, where turnovers aren't a factor is baseball, right? Everything else is turnovers, turnovers, turnovers.
What is the turnover in baseball now? I'm so in lacrosse mode, I can't. it's the Muppets.
There we go. That's me.
Is that Grover?
I don't know.
in the Inferno?
I don't know, but I was
in
not
front,
talking like this.
trying to slip it low. It stayed out, though.
Yeah.
Madison Mandel getting creative, but just getting enough of it down around her ankles.
Yeah, maybe too creative in that shot.
Yeah. Elmo.
Yeah, I remember Elmo. Yep.
Elmo's Fire. St. Elmo's
Fire.
Yeah. St. Elmo for Pope.
Trying to really date ourselves here.
I know. I want people don't even know what that is. It's a movie from the 80s.
It's worse than when we talk baseball from the 70s and 80s.
Oh,
that's brutal.
Bad.
That's brutal.
Bedford retains possession after the whistle. They go to the far side, trying to gain some ground and go for their fourth goal. All goals scored by Maddie Kiley for Bedford so far in this match, and they have not been able to spread the goal scoring around. A rare moment.
Look at the double team. Look at that double team. But often you're going to get a whistle, and they're going to get, no card yet.
A little bit of cloud cover moving in.
Yeah, let's see now how quickly there's closure on the defensive side. I think this is a good free possession for Bedford. They're going to have some room.
And that is Kiley, right?
Well, they did a good job.
And
quicker,
it jams it in.
And paid for it.
Yes. I don't know if they're going to do that thing where they award a possession on the faceoff like they did for BG when Sarah Burnell hit the deck.
No, they're not.
Now, wasn't that
Kylie?
egregious
was
a
that
hit?
Kylie again?
Yeah, it was Kylie again.
Yeah.
They're talking about it. They might be awarding possession to Bedford here.
I wonder. I'll see.
Yeah, they're going to do it, I think. I saw the indication from the official.
They are going to do it. You're right, John.
Yeah, it was kind of like a fairness.
Yep.
Yep. And
so the penalty, the knockdown is going to cost BG. But you know what? Even if it does, I like that play because it just shows if you're going to score, you're going to have to pay for it.
Exactly. No easy.
From a BG standpoint. From a Bedford standpoint, hey, you'll take the free possession. You'll take the extra possession.
You will. Yep.
Again, soft turf now at Stellos. They hit the turf. They can recover from it. And you want your best player out there.
Oh, a little bit of a miscue there by
Kylie. There you see why it is an 11-4 game. The mistakes on the turnovers.
Yeah, and really determined defensive work there by Sydney Brophy, number 11.
And there's a possible turnover.
Oh, she's a junior. I mean,
she's got room to get
it. Brophy was able to wrestle it away from Maddie Kiley for the turnover, and now BG trying to turn it into something. So that penalty, that automatic possession on the draw doesn't cost them. They get the turnover, and now trying to convert. 6.5 minutes left to go in regulation.
Oh.
Loose ball.
BG's going to be very deliberate. But you know what? Yeah. Sometimes that takes you out of your game a little bit.
Yeah.
So, they've got 11 goals up there. Let's see what happens, how they play it.
Cameron Layton, number 20.
I think Callie Santos, being the offensive coach that she is, she's going to want her team to keep the pressure on and keep the foot on the gas. So here
Tom,
we go with another top free possession.
Abby Lynn's got a hat trick, Tom, and now a chance for number 14, Charlotte Accomando, to get her third. Moving in straight, and how did it not go in?
Off the crossbar.
Wow. That was a miss from very, very close range by Accomando.
Bounced right back out. I believe it hit the crossbar.
You're right.
This is a great transition game for Bedford, but they lose the ball, and a stick check is going to get called, and Bedford will keep possession.
Scooping it up immediately, Maddie Kiley. Trying to keep the momentum as they go downfield. Charlotte Accomando was so close to the net right there, Tom, that after she shot the ball off the crossbar, she could have hit the crossbar with her follow-through, with her stick. That goes up high. The whistle was before the goal.
Yep, no goal.
Kiley would have had her fourth goal, and again, the whistle just before the shot.
She may have a great chance to get it anyway because she'll have the free possession.
Or she has all 4 goals, excuse me. This
She'll
would be her
have
fifth.
a chance to get her fifth.
And so, just like
All right,
Abby
we'll count.
Lynn.
Let's see how long it takes for her to get the shot on.
One step.
1,
2, 3, 4, 5. She's going right in. And it gets taken away. The good BG defense. They did it cleanly, no foul, but now it's inside, and that's a goal. Slam dunk. A determined Maddie Kiley got the return pass from a teammate and made the most of it over the top. And there's a powwow by the BG defense. 11-5 with 4.5 minutes to go.
Happen. Once you get the stop on that first goal, you got a chance. 11-5. You can't let Bedford go, and we're going to get a timeout. I believe this is probably Guertin's timeout.
We'll take a break. It's fourth quarter action, getting a little more interesting here as Bedford's got the momentum. Come back with us to Stellos. Welcome back, everybody, to Stellos Stadium with 4.5 minutes left in this one. Bedford trying to make it a little more interesting here in the fourth quarter as they've put a few goals up on the board in the person of Maddie Kiley. They're all everything captain, senior, number 3, who's taking the draw again here against Abby Lynn. They had 6 goals to go to tie this thing up, Tom, and meanwhile BG's got a chance to maybe stretch their lead.
Need the draws, need the possessions. And they don't get it this time either.
Bedford won that one.
Their draws have not been good today.
Yeah, so downfield comes the Bulldogs, looking for their 6th goal. Bedford can't afford to hold it for long times.
They can't afford to waste a possession. They need a goal on every possession they have.
And they need to take a shot like within 30 seconds.
But they're only down 6 instead of 8 or 9 or 10.
Yep.
So.
Coming out from behind the net. And
I think the nervous time for BG is if it gets cut to 4.
Couple of chances there for BG maybe to scoop up a loose ball, but the Bedford offense retains it. Circling.
Always a key. This is a shot.
Shifting and whistle before any shot. That's Maddie Kiley again going to work. And she's going to get the ball.
And she'll get it from the wide side.
The memes are out. So
I think Pete Johnson's having too much fun.
Yeah.
Just like Dan Young is.
The shot was attempted far corner low and missing the goal. I think that
it's BG's ball.
Yeah, I don't think the goalie.
So now here's the big thing. They've got to be able to get it out. And Linnell had to make that. That was a bad pass.
Yeah. I'm going to say it's Bedford ball.
Yeah, yep.
So a ball handling error by Bishop Guertin gives the ball back.
Yeah, you needed to run that all the way behind and get Linnell. They had their breakout, and obviously they were trying to run it.
Yeah.
But they needed to go a little bit more solo act and try to get run away from that offense.
The clock is BG's
really
friend
for that shot, isn't she?
Oh.
She runs into about 3 sticks.
Right around face level.
But after all this is happening, though, John Collins, it's
time.
2:43 left. Time. Yeah.
No time to score 6 goals.
No.
And the clock is BG's friend. On the restart, Maddie Kiley will have a chance to just Maybe she'll just shoot it this time. Too much respect for the goaltender, Tom. She wants to get in very close before she tries to beat Maddie Linnell. She just thinks probably if she gets a good look at it, she'll stop it.
Oh,
She's trying to go in and slam it. There she shoots it low, and there's the save. Sure-handed goaltender. Senior Madeline Linnell is so tough to beat between the pipes.
And now BG's got a chance to do some clock killing here with 2:05 to play.
And behind the net they go. Bedford would probably want to force the issue and close the gaps between the ball handlers, but they have circled the wagons, and it's allowing BG just to leisurely pass it around as we've got 1:45 left to go in the match. Sarah Brunell's going to work. She's going to shoot this. Nope. Passes it behind the net.
Yep.
Wise choice.
I think she decided to do that midway
She got fouled on the way in?
No, she does. She gets a free possession, yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna get it, yep.
It's interesting. Let's see if she'll just pass it, shoot it, or
Clock in
back
the
it
final
out.
2 minutes continues to run.
There's no rule you have to run forward with it, is there? Oh, she's going to pass it, and the slam dunk goal.
Nice pass, nice goal.
Jordan Gable on the receiving end from Sarah Brunell and made that one look easy. And it is an even dozen for Guertin, up 12-5. A very impressive, decisive, one-sided match here for Bishop Guertin against Bedford, a perennial power in girls lacrosse. Coaching staff for BG, the players have to be very happy, Tom. Fans.
They do. You know, there's still plenty of steps to play, and, you know,
Yeah.
we're going to see them. Are we going to see them next Thursday, Pete Johnson, Moses Brown?
Yes.
Yes, so we'll see Guertin against the out-of-state competition. And that always alters the standings, you know, because some of that out-of-state competition is better. And
When it should be about 15 degrees hotter, shouldn't it? That's late,
no, next
closer to summer.
next week's going to be crummy.
I was just joking, but
Next week's going to be
that
crummy.
would be something.
But I think if it's colder in the 50s, I think Tim Young ought to sit outside.
Maddie Kiley, spin move.
Dan Young, I'm sorry.
Got fouled.
I was thinking of Tim O'Neill. I had the two of them crossed, so they look a lot alike.
Is it running time?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Well, it's not running time. 2
Oh,
minutes.
They didn't stop the clock.
Well,
All right.
depends on who's keeping the clock.
Right. Tim O'Neill must be keeping the clock. He's running it. They stop it now. A full 20 seconds went off from 106 to 46. So, not going to matter, Pete. You're right. Don't point it out. Don't call attention to it. Because there'll be a conference. We'll put time back, and it won't matter. Tom's not getting those 20 seconds back. What a save.
Yep.
Repels the shot, and BG gets the loose ball rebound.
And now she just run it out.
Literally.
Yep.
Downfield on the far sideline, just staying away from everybody. I think that's Abby Lynn with it. Shot, missed up high.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't take the shot.
Yeah.
I'd just run it out. 19 seconds, 18 seconds, and that'll do it. John Collins, I'm going to head down.
Yeah, good job, Tom.
All right.
See if there's some more lacrosse tomorrow.
We will see you in less than 24 hours, and somehow I'll survive it.
Rivier men's lacrosse, biggest match in their school's history for men's lacrosse. 1 o'clock tomorrow, hosting LaSalle for the GNAC Championship. Congratulations to the Bishop Guertin girls lacrosse team for a very impressive 12-5 victory here at Stellos Stadium on the brand new turf. For my executive producer, Pete Johnson, Tim O'Neill, Andrew Fenn back in the studio. I'm John Collins, and for Tom King. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon from Stellos Stadium, everybody.